Chris. Okay.
Okay.
Testing, testing.
We have scarves to put on.
All right, we were able to pull off the winning the World Cup bid. We'll see if we can pull off this press conference now. But good afternoon, everybody. Obviously, this is a very happy moment for Houston and our community, having been awarded a host city status for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. It's been a long journey. Janice is going to talk a little bit about that. It goes back a long ways. But I'm just going to kick it off by turning it over to Mayor Turner with opening remarks.
Look, let me just start off. Number one, congratulations to Houston Harris County. That's number one. And I will tell you, when it went from Dallas to Atlanta, the heart stopped, but then came back to Houston. I do want to from the very beginning, let me thank Chris Canetti. Just been awesome. John, thank you for spearheading. Janice with the Harris Houston Sports Authority. Michael with Houston Furs. Judge, NRG facility is going to be hosting. So, and everyone who participated at whatever level. Number one, we all know that this region, Houston, is a sports city. And we do big events. I mean, that's what we do. We've been doing it for a long, long time, so it's consistent. But I do want to give credit to that proposal that was put forth, because it didn't just focus on the sports side, but it also talked about how we are tackling human trafficking. So Meena Patel Davis and others, labor. It was certainly a lot of collaboration by many different persons, but the leadership speaks for itself. So let me thank you all. Lastly, what I would say, you can't be a global international city if you don't participate on the global international stage. And so, I won't be mayor in 2026 when the World Cup games are played in this city. But the announcement was made today, and I'm excited about that. And then the other thing, we've talked about the $1 billion that could be coming to our area, and the number of people who will be visiting, and the media impressions that will take place. But quite frankly, the benefits from being selected, those benefits started when the announcement was made, because people are already talking about the city of Houston. Businesses will be ramping up between now going into 2026. Businesses that don't even exist today will want to take advantage of what will be taking place in 2026. So the benefits don't start in 2026. The benefits started when the announcement was made. And for that, let me give a great deal of credit to the people in Houston, Harris County, the diversity, the inclusivity, because this was an affirmation of who we are and how we coexist and how we work with one another. So I'm happy, I'm ecstatic. I told some people that I went to the dentist today, stitched up and all. I told the dentist, you are not going to have me miss this announcement. So I'm happy, gratified, and terrific. So let me pass it back. Now let me give it to County Judge Nina Hidalgo.
Mayor, thank you. And yes, you are, Mayor, at this moment, and I can tell you guys how many tours Mayor and I have done with the FIFA delegation and with all of these folks who've been working really, really hard. I mean, if we did many, you guys did twice as many. But ultimately, the credit goes to the community. We're showcasing what Houston means, what Harris County means. It's a diverse community. It's a strong community. It's a community that comes together through the love of sport. It's a community that has successfully hosted just so much. Of course, on behalf of Harris County, I'm so proud to see that's going to be at the county's NRG Stadium. I know, yeah, I think that does deserve a round of applause. And look, it was 2018, right, the North America was announced. And so pretty much my entire tenure has been working with all of these folks, but credit ultimately goes to the people of this community. And folks are saying, Judge, you just look so excited. And the truth is, y'all, I am on such a deeply personal level. I grew up watching the World Cup. Every World Cup I've watched. I've never been to a World Cup, so the first one I go to will be one in my home county, in our county's NRG Stadium. I have so many memories, whatever time of day or night the World Cup was going on. I was there watching it. As a little girl, we would make the trophy out of tin foil, and I know exactly what it looks like. I'm not the artist, but I sure fashioned myself one when I was little. And so I know how much this means, not just to people who play soccer. I'm holding a ball, but I'm not going to pretend I'm very good. I'm a runner for a reason. But I will say it's just such a big thing. The last World Cup, 3 billion people watched it. Half of the population of the world. That's what this is. And can we do it successfully? Of course. We've not done something like this before, but we are known for doing things we haven't done before. And if any community can do it, it's this one. I hope people take the time to not just be proud of the economic impact, Mayor, that this is going to have, of these incredible leaders that help make it happen, but also of the fact that we are all going to be having a whole lot of fun in 2026, and if any community deserves it, it is this one. It's Houston, Harris County. So thank you so much. I'll pass it on to John Arnold, who's been the tip of the spear on this effort.
So I've been to 7 World Cups. I can confirm they are a lot of fun. They are a lot of fun. I want to start just by thanking you, Mayor Turner and Judge Hidalgo. They weren't kidding. We asked a lot from them, and every time we asked, you showed up, and FIFA saw that. Right? And they remarked on it. And what we have in this community, where there's no tension between the various organizations, is really special. And that brought us together, and that made our bid, I think, that much stronger. It was one of the things that we heard repeatedly was that we were the most organized city, the most united city, the most aggressive city. And that was really a differentiator. Right? There were 17 very capable competitors for these 11 spots that went to American cities. Right? And you have your New Yorks and your LAs, and then what came to how do you differentiate amongst those other cities? And I think what we've seen in Houston with everybody coming together and what we told FIFA and what FIFA saw was that we could throw this event and there were going to be no questions. Right? There were going to be no issues about it. They weren't going to have to worry about us. And that's the comments that we heard back. And I think that's a testament to the Harris County Houston Sports Authority, which this is my first introduction being chair of this bid committee. I didn't realize 4 years ago when we started out just how much work went into bidding for and throwing these events. Right? And so for Kenny Friedman and you, Janice, everybody on the board, all the staff, right, huge kudos to you. And of course to Chris Canetti, right, who without you, we wouldn't be here. You left the Dynamo job in 2018 for a year of public service to go run this bid. Right, and the year turned into 4, and 4 more years. 4 more years. But it's just a remarkable time, and we're so happy. And to you, Janice.
What a great day. So 25 years ago, the Harris County Houston Sports Authority was birthed into existence. This was the year of our anniversary when this community stood up and said, yes, we are the 4th largest city and the 3rd largest county, and we need to have professional sports teams here. And they voted to build these buildings that we have just had wonderful events in. And really, for the last 10 years, I've spent my life working up for this day. And I thought the mayor was going to have to pick me up off the floor when they skipped from Dallas to Atlanta. I said I didn't create a speech to lose. We only created a victory speech because Houston deserves it. I'm most happy for our community and the citizens that said yes 25 years ago and have stood behind the Sports Authority and been there for us. I'm so thankful to everybody at this table. John, when I asked you a year ago, or 4 years ago, I didn't even know John Arnold, and I knocked on his door, and we had a meeting, and Kenny and I came. I remember saying, it'll just be a year. It won't be that much work. And here he is, and you've just been so dedicated. I'm so thankful for everything you've done. And Chris Canetti, when he had a great job and he was running our MLS team, but knew that when I came to him and we needed him, he said yes. And Chris, without you, we wouldn't be here, so thank you so much. I appreciate it. Wonderful job. And I'll just end with this. You can't whistle a symphony. You need every instrument. You need every beautiful sound, and you need it to be orchestrated by a conductor beautifully. And the only way that we win these bids is because we work together. City, county, community, we do it. Houston deserves this. What a great win today.
That's well said, Janice. You know, at Houston First, we spent a lot of time thinking about Houston's brand and how we can find platforms to be able to tell that story of who we are. I couldn't be happier for the results today. I mean, could you imagine a more significant win on a global stage like this? So I don't want to repeat all the kudos to all the leadership, but what everybody said is all true. You can't get these things done without working together, without the right leadership that works every day to be able to get this done. We talk a lot about the economic impact, and I think that you can register that in the dollars and cents of the folks that are going to come in. You know, a month-long celebration is just going to be tremendous. But think about the visibility that Houston will have on a global stage for this. Think about the people that will come to Houston that likely have never been here before, and they will come from all parts of the world to visit Houston. We think we do a pretty darn good job of getting people to come back here, whether it's conventions, events, leisure travelers, once they visited our city. And we believe that once people come here from all around the world to visit for the World Cup matches that we'll host here, we think that will just continue to raise our appeal on the global stage. As the mayor often says, 1 in 4 Houstonians is foreign born. We are the most diverse city in the United States. We are the most welcoming city in the United States. And that is part of what our brand is the power of people working together, the welcoming nature of Houston. We say that when you're a visitor and you come to Houston, you can live like a local, because that's how you feel whenever you're here. So it's going to be 4 years of work, but it'll be fun work to be able to do to build up for that. Houston First was thrilled to be able to participate and be able to support this in any way that we can, and we look forward to doing that again as we go forward.
Thank you, Michael. You know, I don't even know where to begin. I don't have a victory speech, to be honest with you. But I'll just say a few things. It started with the leadership of this community from the top. When I looked down at Mayor Turner, Judge Hidalgo, they had a vision for this World Cup clear from day one. And when I would walk into the city hall or the county offices and ask for something from their staff, everybody would stand up and say, oh, this is the World Cup. And it was clear that the mayor and the judge wanted this to happen. So we had the full support of the city and the county behind us 100% of the way. Janice had the vision to create a position where we had somebody focusing on the World Cup 24/7. We were the only city out of all of them in the country where there was a specific focus on this World Cup event. So that shows you how important it was to our community. And thank you to Janice and Kenny Friedman for having that vision and putting me in that place. So thank you. And Michael's staff at Houston First, you know, I was really like a one-man band with the support of the Sports Authority, and we needed the resources and the assets of Houston First to pull off big things. And Michael's staff was always there and still will continue to be there and be a big player and planning this thing as we go forth. We had a World Cup bid committee board of about 25 members, CEOs, people like Brian Ching, and others from the soccer community, just there for us all the way, every step of the way, helping us out. I need to look to the folks at NRG Stadium, Mark Miller and Leah Mastaglio, who run the park, and we asked them to do so much with no guarantees that anything would happen, and they were amazing, and it clearly showed with FIFA. David Fletcher from Lone Star Sports and Entertainment has been a great partner as well, and going to be an important figure going forward as we pull this off. And you know, we had consultants on the outside that helped us, and that just shows the resources we had. But I also want to recognize some of our partners. You know, we funded this privately through private support. Chevron, Enbridge, Sports Authority, the Dynamo and Dash, Houston First, Ben Gwill, who's minority owner of the Dynamo, NRG, the company, Regions Bank, Shell, Ted Siegel, the owner of the Dynamo, and the Texas Medical Center all stepped up privately to help support and fund this bid. And one, it was important to have the money because we needed stuff to do. But I don't think any other city really did that. And FIFA saw that, and they saw the weight of the community behind it. It was another one of the, millions of examples of our community being behind us. We also did something called the Art of Soccer. You see these soccer balls that have been painted. We had dozens and dozens and dozens of community partners pay $10,000 for the right to paint these soccer balls and put them around the city. And it was another fundraiser. But again, it was an example of our community's support, and FIFA saw that and took note. When they made their site visit, they saw enough of these soccer balls to probably drive them crazy. The mayor mentioned Meenal Patel Davis, who's in the back. I said to my wife, Judy, who's sitting right in front of her, that if I worked the hardest on the World Cup over the last 4 years, she's worked the second hardest. And, she's part of the mayor's, she chaired our human rights subcommittee. And this was a big deal. We ended up bringing together hundreds of stakeholders from this city during COVID, Zoom call after Zoom call, to identify human rights opportunities and issues around the World Cup. And Meenal, along with her subcommittee team, put together the #1 plan. We got that feedback from FIFA that no other city had a better plan in terms of human rights opportunities and risks around the World Cup. And there's no doubt it made a difference. So thank you, Meenal. Huge credibility there. He's not here in the room right now, I don't think, but he deserves credit. His name's Dan Bergstrom. And if you don't know him, he's the groundskeeper at the Houston Dynamo, okay? And why is Dan so important? Because he devised the plan to build a grass field inside NRG Stadium. And that may seem silly, but that was a huge issue. And FIFA, there was a moment there I was telling Janice, oh man, I don't think this is going so well. And then Dan Bergstrom presented his plan to FIFA, and the whole thing changed. And I'm like, we may have won the World Cup bid right there at that moment. So, it's important to recognize people like Dan. And again, I want to recognize Brian Chang and DeMarcus Beasley's not here. Brian, World Cup team member, 2010, right, Brian? 2006. Marcus Beasley's played in 4 World Cups, but every time we needed them, again, just ask them, support us here, support us there. These guys were there and delivered. So thank you to everybody that's helped. I know I haven't covered every single person, but as we look at all the things that we pitched FIFA on, and the great assets we have, the airports, the stadiums, the hotels, all these things, the one thing that we made clear was this thing called the Spirit of Houston was a little marketing thing that we put together. And that Spirit of Houston is this collaborative environment that everybody's talking about that also was mentioned. FIFA noticed it. They saw it. They saw that there's something special going on in Houston, and there's a reason why major events keep coming through here, because they're successful. So that Spirit of Houston shined through, and is why there's a long list of people to thank. So I'll leave it at that. Sorry for being a little bit long-winded, but I guess we'll do some questions at this point. We don't have to make substantial renovations to NRG Stadium. That's one of the benefits of coming here. We do have to install the grass field. We're going to have to start using the term pitch, ladies and gentlemen. That's the term for soccer field. There's a less than $10 million, let's say, that needs to be invested into the stadium on renovation. Stadium's in great shape. There's already planned capital improvements that are going on, whether a World Cup was coming or not. So limited work needs to be done there. Nothing to the city or county.
What can you tell us about a timeline, maybe what's next? When will we know more? We're excited now. Soon we'll all
It's a great question.
First, we have to celebrate tomorrow. There's a victory party, if you haven't heard, right?
Go ahead, James. Go ahead.
Yeah, that was kind of funny, actually. Yesterday, the word "if" was left out of one tweet. And so everybody thought we had inside information, which we did not. But I think the whole community knows we have a great big victory party tomorrow because we did win. And we hope that everybody comes out from 4 to 6 at pitch 25. Brian's place, and we can't wait to just celebrate with the community.
Yeah, so party first. How about that? But John and Janice and I are headed to New York City on Sunday, and we'll have meetings with FIFA along with the other 10 cities that were, 16 cities that were selected. And we'll learn a lot more. So maybe on Wednesday we can talk and we'll have a better idea.
Every national team who comes to Houston, we would play like a local, right? Because we have a lot of communities from around the world. This is important, I think so.
Yeah, obviously we'll have no control over who comes here and what the draw is, and that'll be one of the last things we learn. Probably 6 months out from the World Cup, we'll have an idea of which countries will be drawn to Houston. But that'll be, as big as today was, that'll be another big moment in this process.
But no lack of an audience either is that point, is we have people from everywhere here. And, everybody speaks a certain language at home, but the common language is this one. And that's what makes this community such an incredible host. So the folks that are here, they're sure going to have someone to cheer on. And everybody that we welcome, all the visitors we welcome, they'll find a piece of home here in Houston and Harris County. And I think that's what made this bid so compelling and what makes this just so wonderful, not just in economic terms, but in human terms.
Pues Alina Hidalgo en español, si pudiera hacer unas palabras acerca de la importancia del día de hoy, de esta decisión de la FIFA.
Es un momento histórico, es algo que venimos trabajando como condado, como ciudad, con todos estos líderes. Se han venido trabajando durante ya los últimos 4 años. Hace 4 años se anunció que va a ser en Norteamérica la Copa Mundial. Entonces hemos dado cuanto tour de nuestro estadio del condado y somos una comunidad que tiene diversidad de todo el mundo. Entonces, venga cual venga, sea el partido que sea, las personas van a encontrar un pedacito del hogar aquí en el condado Harris, aquí en la ciudad de Houston. El alcalde y yo estamos ambos muy orgullosos. Es algo que hemos trabajado los últimos años con mucho compromiso y que todos estos líderes han venido trabajando día y noche. Va a ser algo económicamente importante para nuestra región, pero además como seres humanos nos enorgullece, es una fuente de alegría, de diversión, y ya entendimos también que nuestro estadio de NRG está prácticamente preparado para esto. Nuestra ciudad está lista y estamos nada más anhelando que venga el 2026 para poder disfrutar. Bromeamos que Jonathan ha ido a 7 copas mundiales. Yo personalmente a ninguna, pero desde chiquita veía todas las copas mundial tras mundial. Entonces poder celebrar el primer mundial en persona, aquí mismo, en mi comunidad, en nuestro estadio del condado, wow, qué felicidad para todos nosotros. Y esto lo merece la comunidad entera. Esto lo logró nuestra comunidad.
I don't have anything to add to what you said.
Africa sports network Simon Bond again. I just want to ask, soccer is more than just sports. Like George Hidalgo said, everyone speaks the same language. When it comes to that football, she has in her hands. Would there be community outreach program developed to several communities around Houston to, connect them with this bid or when the soccer World Cup starts?
It's a common language. It's something that all communities can relate to. All communities are going to be a part of, and as part of the bid, that diversity was very much part of the pitch. But I'll let
Yeah, so I think you heard during the site selection broadcast just how transformative the 1994 World Cup was, both for the United States as well as for the cities in which the World Cup was held. And I think we're going to see the same thing here in 2026. And one of the things that soccer does in the World Cup with the Fan Fest is that it unites the whole city. Right? Everybody can engage in it, regardless of whether you have a match ticket. So not only will many Houstonians be going to the games, not only will we welcome the world and all the fans here just for a joyous occasion, but it engages the entire city. And so that's what I've found when I've gone to all the games in many different countries, is even when you're with the opposition fans, right, at least before the game, it's a lot of fun, and it's a big party. After the game, some things might change, right? But it's just a joyous event.
And I'll just add that, again, from our leadership down, the message has been legacy. And when the final whistle blows and the games are gone and everybody's gone out of town and the excitement's over, what is the positive impact that's been left in our community? And so that's also been a key focus to our bid. One, because our leaders have asked us to make it about legacy, but two, we feel like it's important, and our community can deliver on that. So, we're very focused on growing the game of soccer. We're very focused on social and environmental responsibility. We have an entire plan that we're ready to roll out around those things. And it's one of the reasons why it was important that we won, because now this is the biggest sporting event on the planet. We have huge leverage over the next 4 years to put these programs into work. If we didn't have this event coming here, it would have been a lot more difficult and more challenging to put these things together. So it's part of the opportunity that having the World Cup here brings.
We used to have a special mascot. For example, I'm not taking it long. In 2010, when Africa had the first chance to host in South Africa, we had this thing called Vuvuzela. Become so iconic that everyone that went to South Africa, came back with one. Would that be an iconic stuff that, everyone that come to Houston, like, oh, I was in Houston 2026, I've got this.
We're going to make sure the costume fits you, okay?
We'll work on it.
Great question. We'll have to get to work on that.
Yes.
All right.
Elaborate on the grassroots. Maybe not everybody will get to go to one of these 6 World Cup games, but what is the value of having this? How will the grassroots benefit? I know you started some programs already,
Yeah.
but what else can be done to grow the game here in Houston?
Yeah. It's one of the, so the World Cup was here in 1994, as John Arnold mentioned, and it was the key moment to creating legacy in the growth of the game in our country. It led to the birth of Major League Soccer in 1996, as you know, and then having a league in this country has made us into a soccer nation. So now here we are 30 years later, we are a mature soccer nation. We still have a long way to go, but having the World Cup here as a mature soccer nation is going to take us to heights that are almost unimaginable. But again, by having this event now coming to Houston in 2024, and the excitement and the interest, the motivation, the enthusiasm, all those words that will exist, there's opportunities to go out to corporate America and get funding and get support to, we've got a campaign going where we're trying to build mini pitches here in Houston, along with the Dynamo and the Dash and the U.S. Soccer Foundation. We've got programs that we've started in the Boys and Girls Clubs in the school systems. One is about introducing the game to girls. The other one is about trying to provide opportunity to play soccer. So access to the game is a problem, especially in lower income areas. It's a pay-to-play sport. And one of the things we hope to achieve through our legacy program is by delivering the sport to people that don't have the opportunity to play right now. And it's a great way to grow the game. I know those are huge parts of the programs that the mayor and the judge are working on. And again, now we have an opportunity to collaborate on all these issues and make things happen.
Hey, great. My name is Alex from Marcel Central America, show dedicated to CONCACAF soccer. You just mentioned grassroots. You mentioned corporate American corporations. Is there any way that FIFA can say you cannot go to any corporation? Is there like a limit for corporations, or people can just come to you guys and say, look, I want to sponsor a soccer field? How would it work? How would you go about that?
If, as a community, any grassroots programs we want to do that are not associated with the World Cup, we can do on our own. There's no restrictions. Correct. Right. And that's happening as we speak. It's already happened, to be honest with you, through our bid. As we go forward, and we work on World Cup issues specifically tied to the World Cup, we have to work with FIFA on commercial elements. They basically control all of that, but we will have some opportunities in there as well. It's a very similar model to the Final Four, the Super Bowl, college football playoffs, all the other major events that come through. Approximately the same. Yep. I can't break it down off the top of my head. I don't have that data in front of me, but I can tell you that we had a significantly reputable firm create that report for us, and it's very, very credible data.
So not to cut it off, but what do you do when you win a big sporting event? What happens in the locker room? Champagne. So we're going out on the balcony and we're going to spray some champagne. Are you guys ready?
All right.
All right, let's do it.
Oh, he is. I grabbed him. He's doing it.
Straight on, I'll get this guy.
Can I squeeze between y'all? Is it all right?
Real low.
Are we gonna do this? Okay, what do you want me to do? You give me the same ones.
We need goggles. I know, that's what I was saying. I'm like, Astros, where are goggles? Hi, Brian. You ready for tomorrow? Exciting. Exciting. Yeah.
Costume with the goggles.
Exactly.
Close your eyes.
Yeah.
There must have been some athlete here put on injured reserve.
Yeah, because
We can't have that happen. We gotta get a rope.
No, I can't say that should be up in there. Roger, Mayor.
We're not gonna shake them. Mayor, they forgot the goggles, Mayor. Where's the champagne?
call your money, Chris.
Michael's not messing up his
No, I'm good. That's
Come on, Brian, you ready? We gotta go up on this, right? We gotta go up. Oh, he's ready. Oh, there you go.
I think he's out.
You go now.
Something bad for you. Yes, sir. You say that for making me see a smile.
You got it worse than I did.
I know, it was all in my eyes. I couldn't
It's a little bit. This time. This is about the floor. Yeah, I guess so. This is about the floor. Oh boy, actually,